iron farm for 1.14.4 upwards. As you currently see, we are in 1.15.2. I didn't want to play this in a snapshot because, yeah, I didn't want snapshots to break good stuff. But yeah, this is my iron farm here. It produces around, let's see here, 1,143 iron per hour and about 195 poppies per hour, which is a lot of iron if you were to scale this up overnight. So basically what happens is you have this one zombie that runs around in a train cart right here. Pretty simple. Then, when the zombie, this guy whose name is Dafa, runs around this detector rail, it fires his comparator pulse clock, which is a pulse extender, which then halts the zombie here, or that torch right there, do that thing, and then villagers that are in a weird formation right here will then start running around doing whatever their crazy things do and such, and the beds are orchestrated in this formation so we're able to see the zombie and react to it, which I think is pretty cool. And then we have these on top here to protect the villagers from getting escaped. Then it's released, and it's moved on to the same thing, and so forth. From then, as you can see, the villagers get scared and spawn into this. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Oh, never mind. That's supposed to be there. Never mind. I forgot that I put a block here. Into this 6 block wide, because this little trapdoor can count as a spawning space sometimes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it counts as a top off slab. By 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 platform, with edges around the extras, so that way the iron golem is just able to just fall out like it did so right there, as you saw, and then eventually gets funneled down into here. From then on, if we were to iron golem, summon an iron golem just like that, it would then fall into this trench, shoot all this water here, and then keep flowing down into this main killing chamber right here, which as you can see is 2 blocks wide here, which the iron golems get killed off. And if you're wondering why this is so far away, is that we need to drop the iron golems down far enough so it's out of the detection range of those villagers up there. My original design, it was about up here, but the villagers could still detect the iron golem, so I put it back down here, and that seemed to have worked. Now we need to put all this stuff to stone here, because for some reason, well, not for some reason, I know exactly why it's not working, but when this here was just regular, just stone, the, what's it called now? The planks would get burned by the lava that's there, and would cause a problem with the storage, with, this, and then just explodes and then just gets reckless. I've killed a lot of iron golems, but when I was building the design, all the iron golems here, there is just like hundreds and hundreds. Just all anvils. That's weird. And such. But there's a lot of iron golems before here, and I think it looked pretty cool. And then they all get funneled down to this 4 chest storage system. Where's my thingy there? Which has been producing a lot of items. I've been running it for just over half an hour right now, and I just did a little bit of calculations 10 minutes in to figure out that entire thing. But then, to make sure that Dafa doesn't die from sunburn, we put this little ring of, I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, but not top block, but block that, whatever this is. Like, see. Or delete that, wouldn't go with it, whatever those is. Bottom half slabs, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Make sure that no iron golems spawn up here, and that so our zombie doesn't die, and of such. Just an FYI, there will be a world download for this down in the description of this video, if you guys would like to check it out for yourselves. But, yeah. Okay, so let's quickly go over the spawning mechanics for iron golems. So, when the villagers have to be in this cell right here, they have to have access to a workstation and have access to a bed. With which, if we were to set it to night right now, as you can see, all the villagers except for that one, because that one currently has the zombie detection there, which I'll talk about later, comes in there, they all go to bed. And then if we were to set the time to day, right there, just like that, as you can see, they would now get to work on their workstations, which means that they now have the ability to spawn an iron golem. So now quickly, while that guy finishes up at the sauce there, thingy there, then the zombie would come down, and the zombie is just inside the detection radius of these villagers, which means that they are now eligible to spawn a golem. However, the chance is lower if there's not as many spawning spaces as seen in that place over there, which I talked about in my single craft episode, which I briefly discussed this. But then, so there's a small chance of every time the zombie passes around, not all spawn 4, but most times it does. Unless, like I said, the iron golem has a half a good chance of spawning, but when it does, just funnel down and just falls into there. But there's one thing though that needs to be happened. See, villagers have a detection zone with the iron golems, which that if there's an iron golem within an area that's about the size that I'm flying around with, around that villager pod right there, if they see an iron golem while they're being scared, they will definitely not spawn one. Now, my original design had these a lot closer to each other, and I didn't realize it until I measured how far that and that were apart. Shoot. Do not want my villagers escaping. Did not want to do that. And this part, and how far away that was from this, and turns out these were closer together than it was that way for some reason, which I eventually figured out. So now that's a little bit better. But when there is a iron golem in this area, like I said, nothing will spawn. Then there's also the detection rate of a zombie. See, when the zombie goes over there or is over there, it's out of the detection zone. But when the zombie is sitting here, it's just inside the detection zone, which is about this area, I would say. That's how big the detection zone is for a zombie. Only for a zombie. And when all of these criteria is met for spawning of an iron golem, the villagers will spawn an iron golem. But then, after they lose sight of an iron golem in their iron golem detection zone, they will start counting down on how much time it takes for them to talk. For them to wait until there's not an iron golem there. Which is why there is a chance of them not spawning. Which sometimes, because this thing is not 100% accurate on single player, I mean pretty accurate on single player, not as accurate on multiplayer, but when it is working, these guys will count down until it reaches 0, and then, yeah, they'll spawn an iron golem, which I think is pretty cool. And so far, this farm does work best in the spawn chunks, because as you know, everything works in the spawn chunks, and this is a pretty big design, and I mean insanely big. And this is actually built in the same world map as my single craft world, so you guys are able to check out the world too. That's the seed, by the way, if anyone wants to know it or not. But yeah, this is basically our iron farm that we'll be doing in the server. As I said, you guys are free to use this. Just don't use it in your videos, because I will get annoyed at that. But thank you guys for watching. If you really liked this video, please leave a like. If you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But this has been Engineer L, and the Engineer is out of here. I'll see you later. Also, I hope you liked the time lapse of the iron golem spawning earlier on in the video.